Workers of CDC, the Cameroon Development Corporation, are going through hell. And it is sad if we look at the way resources are allocated in some sectors and how we spend resources in other irrelevant things in this nation. And I will explain to you why I say some are irrelevant. The aftermath celebration of the National Day, huge amount of money was spent across the national territory after the march passed for reception. Now, if you look at the money that was spent, if the people are just celebrated the day after the march passed, everybody goes to their house, they get to their respective homes, and the money is safe, and the rest of the money that was supposed to be projected for the celebration for wine and the rest is channeled to CDC or to some sectors. Workers will be happy. Now, workers in CDC have gone for months and years without being paid, and there is a selective payment to these workers. And if you look deeply, you will see that those who are really doing the jobs are the ones not being paid. The ordinary workers who are on the field, those who are working at the palm plantation, those who are working at the banana plantation, those who are working at the banana factory, those who are working at the rubber plantation, they are the ones who, the daily workers, are the ones who are suffering the highest, and they are the most productive. But if you look detailedly, the allowance of the manager of CDC probably is passing. If you look detailedly, probably the allowance of the top directors, they are receiving the allowance. If you look detailedly, they have AC in their offices. If you look detailedly, they have their feeding allowance. If you look detailedly, they may have it. But now if you look at the worker, the ordinary worker, it's a problem. How have we reached a certain level that workers need to protest in CDC before they are paid? And even being paid, they are selectively being paid. The government is owing CDC workers in 2023 7 months. 7 months. These are workers in Lukumba. Let me be more precise, Lukumba, in Tiko. Those in Tiko, probably those in Tiko. Now, I'll play the video, you will see. In 2024, the government did not pay a single month. CDC did not pay a single month to its workers. A single month. That is, these workers went from that to January to December without money. But they worked at the plantation. How are these workers even? How are their children going to school? How do their children even go to school? Don't their children have the right to education? If someone in CDC has a child that is in university, how would that person afford a school fees for that child? And yet we say that education is the inalienable right of a child. But when the inalienable right of a child is being deprived by the fact that the father's salary is not being paid, how is that education now an inalienable right of that child? When that salary is not being paid for CDC workers. In 2024, the government did not pay a single month. In 2025, the government is owing them 8 months' salary. 8 months' salary. In 2026, the government has just paid only January. Means that February this year has not been paid, March this year has not been paid, April this year has not been paid, May this year has not been paid, June this year has not been paid. And the year is still ongoing. So if you add the selective payment, the question is, how are these people being allowed to work, knowing fully well that they will not receive their money on time and even receive it regularly? They are owing salary since 2023. Yes, the government have a legitimate complaint to say the crisis. But if the crisis had been well handled, CDC would have, in fact, CDC is still functioning. The governor of the Southwest region in Manfred declared that the armed conflict in the Southwest, it has been contained, which means that being contained means that things will definitely at least speed up to 70-80%. You may have just sporadic attacks. That's the word contain. I'll play this video. Let us be honest to ourselves. If we as a people cannot treat our own people this way, how do we expect foreign companies to take our own people in Cameroon and treat them well? Where foreign companies will be also looking at them and say that if your own people cannot treat you well, what can you do? If your own people cannot treat you well, how do you expect Cameroonians to be treated better by foreign companies? And that's why I see most of these foreign companies, when they come, they maltreat Cameroonians. They maltreat their workers, maltreat them. Because they know that they copy example from what they are seeing. And how do you also expect a Cameroonian to travel out of Cameroon and is well treated by his or her employer out of Cameroon? When that employer knows fully well that even in your home country, your home people don't treat you well. I think it's high time for the government to really look at this situation of CDC workers, because if somebody has gone for months without salary, and that person has complicated health challenges, how does that person cope? How does that person really cope? It's sad. The people, and you see, they will come and blow big grammar, and the politicians, they same this 2025 presidential election. If you want to see some of them, the top members of the corporation probably have donated money for President Paul Biya's campaign. They donated money. But if you look detailed into functionality, that money should have been channeled to the ordinary day people. The people are working. It's not like they are complaining that they don't want to work. Watch this video.
Monday, Tuesday, all the workers are at gate today. Yes, they are at the gate today. No going in. The voice low, different man with Tom.
How they beg me your voice? They beg your voice. Sorry. Sir. No, sorry. Wait, don't worry about me, translator. No.